Welcome, all of you, to the Rootcode Connect 2025, where we focus on AI in e-governance. Our story started in this little island in Asia in Sri Lanka, and then now our European headquarters runs out of this most advanced nation, Estonia. And we are serving globally as an organization, all the way from enterprises and to governments in Europe, solving multiple technological and AI challenges. So why are we doing this AI in e-governance forum in Estonia? There are two major reasons why this is happening right here. Number one is Estonia has played a really big role in our success as an organization and my career as an entrepreneur. Because I was born in a small village in Sri Lanka, where I grew up in the middle of a very ordinary family. My parents were teachers, getting to the next day, having to make sure that we get food every other day is itself a challenge. I come from that background. And when I started building Rootcode, and when we started realizing that we seem to be adding real value to organizations that we work with, and when we started scaling, by the way, to date we do not have investors. We are a fully bootstrapped, profitable company. And when we started growing, and when we started working with organizations in Europe, I realized that we need to have a base outside Sri Lanka. I realized that we need to have a business, ideally somewhere in the European Union, to scale Rootcode. And this was in 2018, 2019. And I spent my whole 1 week researching about all the countries in European Union. And no offense to the non-Estonians here, Estonia won big time. For me as a founder, to start an organization and to run a business in the most efficient way in the European Union. And that was my first insight into Estonia. Until then, I didn't even know Estonia as a country, because I was a young founder who didn't have that exposure in this part of the world. So when I understood about Estonia, then one of the beautiful programs that you have as a government only bridged me into Estonia, that is e-Residency. And we have people from e-Residency talking about it today as well. And our connection to Estonia started off in early 2019 with that. So that's my first reason. We owe this country a lot as an organization, and for me as a founder, because this country has given us almost everything that we have now. The second reason, out of all the digital services that are provided by governments in the world, Estonia has a very, very special place. And that you see when you talk to everybody, the citizens in other countries. The way, as a nation, Estonia has managed to build up the digital infrastructure is almost superhuman and futuristic. And now, this year, we can proudly claim 100% of our digital services are online. We used to say only thing you couldn't do was getting divorced. Now you can do as well, right? As much as we discourage it, but you can do it online. So that's the second biggest reason. Estonia, when we think about where we could hold an event bringing together the leaders who are driving e-governance around Europe, it was an easy choice. And those are the two reasons why we are here in Tallinn. And I did tell you a little bit about what Rootcode does. We predominantly drive business and government outcomes through technology. And that's kind of what we do. So we are like a consulting organization, but who picks complex, big technological challenges and works very closely with enterprises and governments around the world to actually make change, to actually have outcomes. And that's who we are. And that's also our beautiful office in Colombo, Sri Lanka. If you come that way, please come and say hi. Our e-governance journey working with organizations that are transforming e-governance started with Estonia. A few years back, we were very, very fortunate enough to win a public tender with the Information System Authority of Estonia. And you could recognize some people here. Paula is sitting there. And this was after so many different attempts, we managed to break into the space of building technology for governments and e-governance organization. And that start has taken us so far in the last few years to a place that we can't even imagine that we have gone that far. We, in the last few years, ended up building a big smart farming technology for Porto. And we have the CEO of Porto Digital, Paulo, here, who will be talking more about how the city of Porto in Portugal is pushing with digital innovation. We ended up not only building a software, but building a hardware piece that goes into the soil, that reads the nutrients from the soil, so that these community farmers in Porto can learn about their plants and predict plants better. Because we know about AI, right? So we learned a little bit about hardware. We brought everything together so that farmers have better insights about their soil and their plants, and they can take pictures. Our AI model will tell them, is your plant going to be healthy, or is the plant going to die? If it's not doing so well, what can we do to make it survive? You know, all that spectrum of services. So that we got to a point where we can do that. And we also built the citizen engagement platform, which is AI-driven for Prague last year. So this whole journey of Rootcode's e-governance solutions actually started with Estonia. So we are very thankful for Estonia for being the first big government customer, and that has scaled us around Europe over the last few years. The next era of e-governance. The next era of governance is anyway going to be digital, and that's something that all of us realized in the last decade, right? And that's also one, despite how small we are as Estonia, all the countries look up to Estonia as a model. How do we do governance digitally? And that's well understood, right? We all are here because we understand the next era of governance is digital, but I personally consider the next era of governance will be really deeply embedded with AI, because governments have a lot of complicated functions with different flows that are not that easy to automate and to do with less manpower. And AI, for the first time, is in a place where it's capable enough to help governments run so efficiently. And we believe the next era of governance will be intertwined with artificial intelligence. And the way we see e-governance grow in AI is to have a great balance with great transparency for your citizens and great efficiency, and give a better experience for citizens. And we believe that we can use AI to harness this triangle of making e-governance better with artificial intelligence. And our role, we look at it as we bridge the enterprise innovation that we have 11 years of experience now with governance of building it. And today, because of that, we have brought some of the best thinkers in this field. You will hear about agentic AI and how governments can leverage agentic AI. You will hear from model cities that have done absolute transformation with digital services and citizen experience in different parts of Europe. And you will also hear from our very own Information System Authority, RIA, on how they are transforming bureaucrats. And we will have panel discussion and different sessions trying to bring up this conversation of how do we push e-governance forward with artificial intelligence. And I'm really looking forward for today's session and getting to know more of you very personally as well. So thank you for coming today, and let's build the future of e-governance together. Thank you so much.